Okay, now we get to start having a little bit more fun. We're going to get into structural elements. So primarily the main structural element that has been used for quite a while is the div tag. Now HTML5 makes available some additional structural elements, and the book talks about those, and you can use these for your site. In fact, I'd encourage you to do so. But these are relatively new, so you'll have to make sure that you test on different browsers. Historically, for quite a while, we've used div tags as kind of our workhorse for layout. Let's talk a little bit about what a structural element is. Okay, so the structural element is really something that just sets apart a block of content to be treated together as one kind of structural group. So oftentimes we'll use div tags as really the workhorses in layouts. So consider it like this. Let's say you have a set of content and you want to split that content up into two columns, or you want to display some content here, some content here, and maybe you want to give one set of content a border and the other set of content a background. So that's what we're going to use divs for. So let's go back and get some of our Latin. I'll copy this. Oops. Okay, let's go ahead and paste it. Now a div, is often a kind of a larger structural level element. So within that div, oftentimes we'll have a series of additional block level elements. So let's assume we have paragraph, tag, we have, let's even put in a list. Just something basic. Allow me to be OCD here a little bit. Okay, so these are all part of a div. Now I'm going to create a new div. And actually, a good practice when you're working with structural level elements is to indent something that's indent everything that's within that structural level element so that you can see a little bit better the relationships that are happening. So here we see that all of these tags are part of this larger div structure. So we'll create another div structure now too. And all we're really doing is just setting up a new structure that we can then manipulate later. We'll grab some more Latin, maybe not quite so much. Just grab a little bit here. Copy, using just my keyboard shortcut. Paste. Okay, there's nothing fancy that has happened by putting these structural level elements in place. So we just have what looks like a paragraph, a list, and another paragraph. Okay, so let's just go and add some additional structural elements. I'll add a header element. Put in some text. Let's put in a navigational element. We can put in some list items. Then we can come down and we can put a footer element. can spell correctly. Let's see, we'll just put in an entity code for fun. USU. Okay. Again, nothing too fancy that we're seeing here, but what we've just set up is a structure for this site that separates each of the various structural items from each other so that we can then start to manipulate them. So that'll come in a little more handy later on as we start getting into styles. That's really when this starts to all fall into place. But setting up this structure is very important, and I'll show you kind of how this can begin to take shape. So using Dablet, I can do an external style sheet, so I can go in and start to manipulate the some of these elements. So I can say header, let's put a background on this of background color, and we'll put on, let's just put on a background of blue and a color of white, and put on a padding of 15 pixels. And then let's go for all of our divs. For each div, we'll do a margin of 10 pixels, a background color of a light gray. We'll do a padding there as well of 10 pixels. And you start to see here how the structural elements now start to separate each other. Now if we were to put separate classes on these divs, I could then style one div separately from another. And let's go ahead and now call out our footer. Footer we have, let's just do border, we'll do another margin, we'll do margin of 10 pixels, padding of 10 pixels, border of 1 pixel, solid, black, and then on our navigation we'll put in some items too. So on our nav we'll also call out our list items, and we'll say list style type none, display inline padding 15 pixels, background color gray. And you can start to see how we can start to put together some buttons here. So if that gives you hopefully an idea of how some of these structural elements work, you can start to see the power of using structural level elements. And here I'll just show all. I'll show our CSS plus our HTML, and you can see how we're using structural elements combined with styles, which you'll be learning later on, to start to separate functionally different elements of your page. So the further we get into this, the more we can start to use CSS to say specify the width of this div and the width of this div, and to maybe float one on the right and one on the left, and to be able to start to lay out our page and create a web design that meets our needs, but that is structurally very sound. So hopefully that gives you an idea of the power and the use of these structural elements that you're learning about this week.